Hello everybody and welcome back to Warsaw, and the last of these post-commentary episodes, hopefully, for the future, because this is just like pulling teeth, trying to keep up with past Roach. But yeah, we've gone through 2 days without any casualties, and doing really well, actually. Though we have slowly still been losing things for the uprising, a lot of stuff. But we did have some codex entries that were unlocked, so we unlocked a new enemy, the Gestapo officer, where the Wehrmacht represents the German army and the Waffen-SS represents the Nazi Party's military wing. The Gestapo is the Reich's secret police, conducting investigations based on I couldn't figure out that word when I originally did this, and I can't figure it out now. From sympathetic citizens, the Gestapo is committed to rooting out resistance movements from occupied territories. I think that was the only new one we got. We did get the Pioneer as well, at some point. Yeah, this is me trying to figure out that damn word. I should have probably looked it up before I did this. And then we got characters. And the first secondary backstories for 2 characters, the paramedic and the sapper. So we got Jadwiga's backstory. So we go from the beginning. A Warsaw-born teacher and former instructor of the Polish Scouting and Guiding Association. Having received basic medical training during her time with the Scouts, she volunteered to help the uprising as a paramedic. A member of one of many families targeted by the Anti-Intelligenza AB Aton campaign of 1940. Sometime after being released from arrest, Jadwiga began teaching in private apartments as part of a clandestine education effort that was being organized throughout the Nazi-created general government. While she sees value in such initiatives, she outwardly rejects the idea of putting one's country above everything else and avoids imparting belief on her charges. That said, it is clear she is staunchly committed to her work as a teacher and that she worries a great deal about those in her care. I like Jadwiga. We need to make her a veteran so that we can get her last bit of backstory. And then we got Wanda. So, Wanda, a baker turned munitions worker turned resistance zapper, now dealing in all sorts of explosive implements. The youngest and only daughter of 5 children, Wanda came out of her childhood with the terrifying ability to yell and roughhouse her way through heated arguments. If only so she could put her foot down at the end. While she is a baker by trade, she is far more enthusiastic talking about wartime occupation as a member of what eventually became the DISK unit, an all-female sabotage unit trained by the sappers and pyrotechnicians of the Home Army. Despite this training, she tends to repeat, and the way too often at that all she really needs to know is how to make a thing explode, leading to certain reactions of annoyance from other members of the team. Wanda sounds nice. So yeah, we finally got some backstory for some of our troops. So now we just need to know, we need to get something for the Unseen, for Carl, the Doctor. We'll never know what's going on with Kristoff and Kazimierz, though. And Scout only recently joined. So yeah. Interesting. Well, we got Jadwiga, who's pretty damaged. Wanda's pretty damaged. The Scout's not too bad off. And then we got 2 of our randos who are a little hurt. We've got 2 districts that are really close to being finished off. So now we need to look at our excursions and see if we can get one back. What are we gonna do? We have to do that mission because of the way that everything's going out. And that means collecting supplies from hidden stashes throughout the city. And Praga would have just given us a revolver anyways. So you have to do the supply cache mission to try and keep that district in the fight longer. So, I think, yeah, we did have some experience to spend. So we gotta figure out somebody we're gonna spend it on. Carl would be an interesting one. He gets an option between being better against vehicles and being better against, or not getting hurt as much. But that limits his offensive capabilities quite a bit. Though our scout is still level 1. And has some interesting abilities that we could use. Especially the special delivery one, which I think is what we ultimately choose to go with. And we replace his bandage ability with that, because I don't think anybody else has anything that's really worthwhile to pick up right now at this minute, except maybe the doctor. So yeah, I'm not sure where we're going to go with here. Looking at the impairing blast against vehicles, our heavy weapons, which we haven't encountered very many of. We've encountered some MG42 positions, but that's about it, really. Alright, we go with ranking him up and getting his special delivery, and then replacing his bandage, I think. Do we replace the bandage? No, we replaced the pot shot. Which I'm good with. And then with that, we just move on to do our missions. So let's see how this goes. Taking Carl. The doctor, because he's full health. Then we gotta figure out what else we're gonna take. Take him, and then we need one more person in the back line. So we put the rando there, and then we take the scout out for another one? Is that what we're doing? Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. So we'll just heal him up with a bandage when we put him in there, I think. Take our specials out. We don't have a lot of people using heavy ammo. We do have quite a few people that can use the... we don't have a lot of people using long ammo. We have quite a few people using heavy ammo, so we take all of our stock of that. And then we go forth. At some point, there we go. Now we go forth. And lucky for us, there's immediately a crate, which I'm very wary about because that's like out in the middle of nowhere. But we get it. And now it's time for us to just try and find our supply caches. We've got 9 battles, an event, and 4 supply caches. So we found 2 battles there. Moving across the road, there's a battle there, which we avoid. Get another thing of cargo. Be 3 battles. There's still 6 in the open. Yeah, or there's still 6 out of the hidden, not in the open. Picked up another compass, so we can use another one without really actually wasting resources. Pop another flare. We uncover 2 more battles. So we got 5 on the field right now out of the 9 that are here. Now I'm basically just going to skirt real close, but get around this fight. Use another flare there and uncover another fight. But I cannot get around him. So I have to double back. But we do have 6 fights uncovered. So there's still 3 somewhere. Another compass, but we're out of flares now. We need to find the event and loot. Now we're getting into some open territory, so I'm being a bit more cautious. Last compass. I also remember to heal our scout. We got 2 there, and find 1. And another loot box, which we pick up and get a commendation out of it, which is really nice. Drop the light ammo, or short ammo, for extra supplies. Will come in handy later. Got 2 more loot boxes and an event. So now we're just trying to find the last loot box. We're getting an arrow here, a couple arrows here. We don't have a flare, so we're being very, very cautious. Find an enemy patrol there. Another enemy patrol there. We've got almost all the fights, or all the fights I think, uncovered. And that puts us to one of the loot boxes, which we pick up and get a decent amount of gear. And I think we trade out one of these items, the commendation for our compass. And I have a little bit of a panic attack when I'm not able to get the loot box open again, but you have to kind of go away from it for a bit to get it back up. So we got that. Double back around, and now I'm basically using what little I have left to try and find the event and the last loot box, whatever is in it. Because we can just go willy-nilly since we have uncovered all the fights. So we got the loot there, and then that means the event is right there. So we go for the event. And what do we find here? Drawn by a gunshot, you run into a group of 3 children curled up by a wooden fence. Clad in rags and dirty, they would look no different from any other war orphans if it not for the eldest girl, no older than 13. She is pointing a gun at you, and there is a dead body of a middle-aged man at her feet. Looking at their disheveled appearance and terrified eyes, you wonder if they are Jewish children who managed to escape from the destruction of the nearby Warsaw ghetto. We have the ability to charm. We can assure them, or we can use academics. The doctor can charm people. We don't have any... We have... the doctor can also use the other one, and academics, but he has the highest chance with academics. So reach out through something they might know. So we try and use the doctor to get them to put the gun down. Which does not result well. Your teammate tries to reach out, but an error in their attempts only serves to agitate the girl's fear. Aware of their misstep and embarrassed, your teammate hastily moves in to correct the mistake, but the realization is too late. Without even a sound of warning, the girl opens fire, wounding the would-be ambassador. After the brief commotion subsides, you notice the kids have already given you the slip. And the doctor is negative 10 health. But, you know, it might have worked out, it might not have. We had to do something. Then we have one more crate here, which may or may not have anything we can use. Get some heavy ammo out of it. Get some long ammo out of it. And then we can complete the mission without a single combat. I actually made off with a good amount of ammo and supplies. 80 supplies is not nothing to turn your nose up at, but then we lose 2 more districts, so we're down to 3 districts. And we're at 50.5 momentum on day 43. We have 20 days left. 20 days. And then we have another event. So let's see what we got. A different resistance unit reports that they managed to secure a small haul of ammunition today. However, as they are unable to properly utilize the surplus, they have offered to share part of the retrieved ammo with your team. Furthermore, the choice of ammo itself is up to you. So we can get long, short, and heavy. We can also use Charm to get extra or Brawn to get extra. But I don't think none of our troops have either of those. So we're fairly short on everything. We have plenty of short ammo, and we get a lot of that during the missions. Long ammo is always very hard to come by, but we have abilities, and we have been stockpiling it. Heavy ammo, though, is something that is very hard to come by. So we go with the heavy ammo. Heavy ammo it is. After a brief yet courteous exchange, you are free to distribute the freshly replenished heavy ammo reserves. So we got that, and then we proceed back to the hideout. Day 43, 12th of September, 1944. And there we go. We're back. Doctor took a little bit of damage, and so did the scout, but all in all told, they're not doing half bad. We can sell the machine gun, and we got a new pistol that may be something for the scout since he uses autos. 50 to repair, and it's the same thing he has, so we can sell that for 90, so we get 40 in profit. And we can also sell the machine gun to give us 175, which is a lot. Which I think we can use on excursions, which I think is what we do, because we were down to very few districts left, and 2 of them are within 1 of going. So, that's not great. Yeah, so we basically just spend a crap load of supplies to get the morale up. It's 210 for both districts. It gives the same amount. We get Walla up. Store bids. We'll have to do that one again next time we do missions. Then we have 3 commendations to spend. The doctor can be leveled up to rank 2 and only spend 1 commendation, so that's really good. So we can still get somebody up to level 2, and then get the doctor up to level 2 as well with what we have. So now it's just trying to figure out who we're going to do that to. The increased healing by 20% doesn't seem to be... It seems to be only for him. But the scout actually has a really nice... He's got the magpie, which gives a small amount of ammunition when an enemy dies, or youthful, which means he's a little bit better because he gets extra stamina, which has been a problem for him lately when we use him in combat. So we rank him up and take the youthful trait, which I think... What do we slot out? I think we slot the bandage ability out, because we're always taking a random with heals anyways. And then we go ahead and level up the doctor. It's just a choice of what we're taking. And I think, what do we do? I think we go ahead and... Do we do the afflictive mix? I think we do the afflictive mix, which gives him a little bit of an offensive capability. We have to slot that in as a skill, which I'm not sure if I remember to do. I don't, so I've got to go ahead and remember to do that whenever I record this next. So we're selling a whole bunch of ammo here. Getting to 500. Probably could have done that simpler just by increasing how much we spent per tick. And then we use that to buy the other district's morale boost, which gets us up to... It's not that bad. I mean, it's still pretty fucking bad, but it's not that bad. Let me go ahead and buy up some compasses, because we use those a lot. Sell a couple of flares. Buy one heavy, and then we're good. That gives us a fairly good base to go forward with. I wish I could, like, resell some of these randos. I think what I was saying, because some of them I don't really use anymore. I mean, we got 3 with heal, 2 with fortify. We have none with ploy, and we also never got one with a Piat. But we did unlock the backstory for the doctor and Carl. A civilian physician working as a volunteer doctor for the uprising, he has an obvious drinking problem, but claims to be recovering. Though never a particularly renowned or affluent doctor, the doctor managed to craft a respectable career as a surgeon, general practitioner, long before the war. His modest attitude and generous concern for the welfare of his parents has earned him plenty of goodwill from the resistance, all despite his open criticism of the uprising and its wastefulness of lives. He insists that his business is saving human beings above all else, and that medical aid should transcend the boundaries between ally and enemy. Interesting. It's very hard to read this without knowing when I'm actually going to... how long it took me in the first time, so I'm really rushing through it. We've got the doctor's backstory, which is nice. And then Carl. A paratrooper of the Silent Unseen, the Special Operations Forces of the Polish Army in Exile, he dropped into Poland on the eve of 1943. As one of the Polish troopers evacuated to Britain following the Battle of France, Lieutenant something was one of the volunteers for the SOE, educated units that would eventually become the Silent Unseen. Having been cleared for airlift in late 1942, his initial duties entailed organizing and instructing local partisan forces until new orders from General Leopold Ukolocki, I don't know, arrived, Polish, in the summer of 1944. These orders reassigned him to the capital with the express purpose of helping to coordinate a major military action under the auspices of the Polish government in exile. Surprisingly, the way he phrases it, this action may not, scroll past me, may not have been the uprising itself, but it cannot be understated that this man is not keen on giving straightforward answers. So we'll probably figure out what exactly it was when we rank him up to veteran. Then we didn't unlock any other codex entries, unfortunately. But yeah, we'll never get well, we'll get the scout in a couple. I think he's only been on 2 or 3 missions, so he'll need 2 more at least, or 4. Well, yeah, 3 to 2 more at least. But we'll never get Christoph or Casimir's until we maybe do a second playthrough of this after some updates come out. We did lose quite a few insurgents, which was bad. August was a bad month in this game for us. But yeah, I think that's going to be the end of this. I mean, we're getting close to the end of the episode, so thank you for joining me for this episode. If you liked it, please leave a comment down below, hit that like button. If you want to support the channel, consider the subscribe button down below, as well as take a look at the description down below, where I have links to my Discord and Patreon page. Yeah, next episode will definitely be a live recorded one with live audio, which will be great, because I hate doing this. This is very difficult. But thank you for joining me for this episode. If you liked it, I'll see you next time. Bye.